Hey there! Today is Sunday, October 13th, and I'm going to plan out my week in the 2025 weekly planner. So let's turn this camera around and get planning. So if you are not already planning your week, how are you even surviving? Dramatic, but I'm speaking the truth. Personally, when I can't plan my week, I feel very, very lost. Truthfully, honestly, from the heart, if you want to be intentional how you spend your time, planning your week is essential. I'm planning in the 2025 weekly planner because we are much closer to 2025 than 2024. So I wanted to show everyone what that looks like in the newer version, since it's a little different than the 2024 version. So let's get planning. First thing I do is it's all about the setting. I'm doing it here at a table because I'm filming, but usually I'm in a comfy chair. I'm just someplace that's really comfortable, that I feel very relaxed, ready to go. I have, of course, my planner. I have a pen, I have a pencil, I have my sticker book, and I have some flavor of the month mild liners, and of course I have my coffee. I know this isn't a pretty little latte with a design that everyone has in their videos, but this is how I do it. This is how you keep your coffee warm, people. Don't be a masochist. Those are the supplies I always start out with. I'm a super functional planner, so I don't need too much. Right now I'm planning on a Sunday afternoon, and that's when I would ideally love to plan my week ahead. It would be Sunday afternoon. That way I feel ahead of it. I am able to kind of close out the week and then look at the week ahead. However, a lot of times I end up planning my week very early on Monday morning, which is okay too. If I have to plan my week on like midday Monday, or sometimes I've had to do it on a Tuesday because depending on the schedule, that is when it's just, I feel like I'm gonna die. Just kidding, but let's get planning. The first thing I always do when I'm planning my week is to go back, close the week out by reflecting on it. As you can see, because we're working in the 2025 planner, I have nothing from the week before. So we are just gonna pretend this is all filled out here. I'm actually going to write down my reflection from the actual week that happened. So my process of doing that is it all goes very fast. It's just I look over the week, look at the schedule, I look at my to-dos. That just jots my memory about what I've done, what things I've accomplished. Just that gives me, that just big picture look. And then I write down kind of a high-level recap of it. Sometimes I will write some wins. Most of the time I'll write down kind of like what my favorite thing was, or what I love the most, or some of the challenges. But sometimes I just start writing and let it go from there. But I always kind of go into it with the mindset of, when I look back on this on my monthly reflection, or if I go back, if I go back to previous years and I'm reading my weekly reflection, I don't want to just see over and over again, like, that was a busy week, did a lot of running, spent a lot of time on work stuff. Like, that's pointless. That is meaningless to me. So I try to make it, without having to spend too much time on this, I try to make it detailed enough without going overboard, essentially. Also, that is what I created this section for. I intentionally created it to put your weekly reflection here. But as you can see with everything else, it is not labeled. It has a dot grid. There's so many other things you can do here. Or if you do your weekly reflection in a different journal, that's fine too. That's just where I intend to do it. And when I am in the weekly planner, that is where I do it. Okay, so this is what I said. This week went by in a blur. I barely got any business done, but that's okay. I did catch up on orders. My 2 highlights from the week: 1, chaperoning Ollie's class trip to Pine Haven, and 2, Friday coffee with mom. I fed Gina's cats Friday through Sunday, and I got product put up on shelves on Saturday. Reflecting on the week makes me feel like I just closed it out. There we go. We can shut that door. Thank you, week. Now we can look ahead to this week. Okay, I always start off with the intention for the week. So I kind of approach this one of 2 ways, sometimes, and actually often, a blend. So I try to do an intention, and then if there is something happening during the week over multiple days, such as, for example, like spring break, I will label that up here too. So that's going to be one of those. So that's what this week is going to be, because we are going into ME this week, which is Minnesota. That's the most Minnesotan way of saying Minnesota. The Minnesota Education Association or something like that. And anyways, it's a workshop for teachers. It happens Thursday and Friday, but my kids' school are off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that is what I'm going to put up here, but also as a bigger picture intention for the week. This week's focus, by the end of this week, I really want to get all my filming done for YouTube. So I want to enjoy the kids while they're off school, and I want to be done filming my YouTubes. So if I come into Sunday and I have accomplished those two things, I will feel really good about that. I'm already filming this one, so nailing it. Okay. All right, so I do my intention, and then I move over to filling in my schedule. So I always refer back to my month to fill in my schedule. So I keep all the schedule stuff in the month, and then when I come to planning, I fill it all in there. Obviously, this is not in here, so I'm gonna have to go to my current 2024 planner that I have, and then this is my schedule. As you can see, I'm a very functional planner here. Nothing is really decorated. I have been doing these little circles, which I like a lot, and it helps kind of color code things, but otherwise, very functional. And that works for me. One day I'd like to get into more decorative, but it's not my stage of life. That's cool. So looking ahead, this is the actual week here. So we have Monday through Sunday. So I'm just going to take everything on here and I am going to fill it in. Since it is Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday, I'm going to just highlight that. Sunday, we'll do our usual 9 o'clock church. Okay, so that is what I have this week. Obviously, it's more goes into this. Things pop up. And I also don't put on things that I routinely do. I don't put school drop off and pick up on here, things like that. But this is just stuff that I need to keep in mind for my schedule. Okay. So after the schedule, I'm going to add one more thing on here. I don't have any birthdays coming up this month, but if I did, I would also include those. I'd grab a little birthday celebration sticker and I would put those on here. Usually I put them right in the margins here, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is add my meal plan onto here. And because food is green, sometimes I'm going to do green. I am really excited about doing a horrible job here. It's okay. It's really hard to do this without getting on here, trying to keep it open for the camera. One thing I'm excited about the weekly is these extra lines down here. So before in the previous iterations of it, this was all blank spot with the 3 check marks, but they took up the whole box. Now there's lines carried all the way across. We have the check boxes up here and then extra lines down here. So I used to put my meals right here, but I'm going to move my meals to here, and that way I can keep this open for birthdays or anything else I want to note right there. Okay, schedule's done. Now I move on to my to-do list. Here is what I do. Here's how I do it. So I both look at my monthly view and what I have down here, since I've already planned my month in advance. I look at the tasks here and what I want to get moved over here. And I'll show you. So as you can see here. So I look here every time, every week. I look over here and I see what I can move to that week, so I can keep that moving along. So I look both at the month and then I look at my schedule for this week, and I just kind of start there. But first, we have our 2 lists here, and I'm going to find, I've torn out some of these pages so I can take some pictures of them. Otherwise, they're really solidly in there, just for reference. I'm gonna do these flags. Since we are in October, I'm gonna do, hold on. It's crooked. It's crooked. It's okay. It's fine, Heather. What? You think you have it lined up perfectly, and then it just, every time it slants upwards, just like your handwriting. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so here's my personal list and my business list. My business. All right, so let's start with personal. And I'm going to be glancing. I have my monthly thing down here. So, okay. Halloween is coming up. I got to get costumes. Everybody already knows their costumes. Not us. Got to get it. Although my little guy wants to be Siren Head. If you don't know who that is, that's I'm happy for you. It's this creepy character that is a tornado siren, and he has multiple creepy siren mouths. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off. Please pray for me. All right, get costumes. Something from my month list is I want to plan a retreat, whether that is a solo one or one with my husband. I badly need to reconcile our personal finances through September. And then I also need to make a dentist appointment. Apparently, October is the month that I try to just get appointments done, because I've got my oil changed, my mammogram scheduled, my eye exam scheduled, as you see this week, and then I got to make a dentist. I have a hair appointment. I think that's it for now, but just get it all over with. So that's all I can think of. Sometimes, and I may still do this, I will go through my personal emails and see if there's anything that I need to pay attention to. But this week, since my intention is to spend quality time with kids, I don't have a lot of time here. So I'm going to try to make this list short. Same with the business side. Short and attainable. That's the name of the game. All right, so business, as you saw here, I need to if I can get this done this week, I'll be very happy. And that will still allow me to spend quality time with the kids. So I'm going to leave it at that. I may add to this later, but I will try to just keep it focused on that. That is really it. I'm not going to add any more stickers, any more color. I am just going to leave this as is. And this is very typical for how it looks. So nothing too fancy, very functional. But just to recap how I planned my week here, I reflected on the week before. I set my intentions for the week. I filled in my schedule and wrote my to-dos. One thing about to-dos, then the morning of that day, I'll go through and I will fill in the day specific things that I want or need to get done that day. So I just leave those blank because that's reserved for that day of. Again, I think weekly planning is so important because it's the most attainable needle mover and intention setter. So like meaning the yearly and the monthly calendar feel large and the daily schedule feels too granular. So planning on the weekly level lets you be really intentional about where you spend your time and with whom, but also giving breathing room for life to happen. So that's why I love planning my week. And then when I am in the days, when I'm planning my days, I always refer back to this weekly plan. So that will be my next video of how I plan my days. Okay, so check out my video on how to plan your week. It's the old version of the planner, but you can still find that and talk a little more in depth about how I do this. So you can find that here. I'll post it here. And then if you are new to Sprouted Planner, you can try out this weekly version for free at sproutedplanner.com/pages/printables. And I'll also link it in the notes below. So lastly, this version, the 2025 weekly planners are available now. So if you love this layout, you can grab one over at sproutedplanner.com. So let's turn it to you. Do you plan your week? If so, what's the high level order that you go in? So you saw mine that I go in, but do you start with to-dos? Do you start with your schedule? What's your high level order of things? Okay. Thanks, friends, for planning with me. Thank you for spending your precious time watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.